viewers. Thank you for stopping by. So today I'm going to be working on a card that I need to create for, I think I need to create it by Friday, and today's Thursday, by midnight. So each month, Crafty does a Zoom call with some of her channel members. I don't know if, I think I'm a paper trimmer, but I don't know if it goes toward her other memberships. So you would have to check out her channel to learn more about her membership. But because I'm in the right membership to do them, the Zoom calls with her each month, we did it just, I think it was on Monday. And what we did this month, each month is different, but what we did this month is she had 3 color cubes. Well, she went through and, did some drawings and stuff like that. But ultimately, the end result was there was 3 color cubes that we could choose from to create our cards. Now, this was the one that I had chosen, and it got drawn. So I decided I was going to use the one that I picked. And the first thing I do is I print it off because I didn't purchase the cards themselves because I didn't want, to have all those boxes. Well, it's only 2 boxes, but I didn't want them here because I just don't have room for them. So I thought, and I didn't know how often I would be doing these color cubes on my own. So I thought I'll just get the digital copy and then I will print them off and then I will start my search to see what colors that I own that match it. And so when I first saw this on the screen, I was thinking, because that's why I like to print it. So at first I told the group that this looked like Pear Pizzazz, this looked like Petunia Pop, this looked like Lost Lagoon, this looked like Pretty Peacock, and then Night of Navy. But once I printed it and started searching, that changed. And so what I've done is I've punched out the colors that I've picked just so that you can see how closely they match. So, and then I come down here and this first row, I use the markers. The second row, if I have Stampin' Blends to it, I do the light and the dark. So I thought it was interesting if you look at Bermuda Bay that the blends really don't look like the swatch at all. But the marker does. So I just thought that was interesting. So I love Stampin' Up because the cardstock and inks and that match. But obviously that's not always the case. But I decided that this is Night of Navy. This one is Dapper Denim. This one's Bermuda Bay. This one was Sweet Sugar Plum. And this one was Pistachio Pudding. And I think the markers match remarkably well as the cardstock. And the blends, the blends don't match at all for Bermuda Bay, I don't think. Now the dark Night of Navy matches nicely, but not the light one. But the thing about the color cubes is you can use the different shades because on the back of the color cube cards, it does show the different shades. So in this case, it would work fine. But I just don't think Bermuda Bay, the blends really looked nothing. I mean, this is more green. This has more of a teal color in it. So I'm going to go back and check my blends. I'm pretty sure I know I used Bermuda Bay. So, but I'll double check. Anyway, so this is what I'm going to be working on. And we have to use at least 4 of the colors. So I'm probably going to be using these four right here. I might use Night of Navy. I guess we'll just see. But what I've decided is I want to use this stamp set and the dies that come with it. And I pulled out also this paper pack, which is called the Country Woods. And because I wanted to use this as my main birdhouse. But I wanted to add a little tint of the pistachio pudding. So what I'm going to do is I already die cut out the birdhouse, the base here. And what I thought I would do is I bringing in my pistachio pudding, and I'm going to go ahead and blend some color on here to give it a little lighter tint. I don't really want it really dark, so I'm going to really have to be careful not to add a whole lot of color. So let's go ahead and do that, and I will speed up the video so you're not watching me do this forever. Okay, so I think that adds just enough tint of the pistachio pudding. So I'm going to go ahead and decide now what color I want the other pieces to be, and then we'll continue making this card. Okay, so I decided that I was just going to cut a hole here using this die so that I could color a bird and have him peeking out through that hole. And then as far as the colors for the rest of the birdhouse, I decided, so this was the side that I originally cut out the birdhouse from. So the back side looks like this. So I decided to do the roof and this bottom part, and let's see what else I did from there. This little piece that's going to go underneath there, kind of like the little wood piece that they stand on. And I did all that from the back side of that paper. And then I decided I would do what color did I do? The Dapper Denim for this little strip right here, which is this die right there. And then for my scallop decorations, I went with this Sweet Sugar Plum. And that's with this die. So now I'm going to glue all that together and then come back, and then we can start working on the bird that I want to show coming through there. Plus I want to have another bird on the outside. So I'll be coloring two birds. And then it's just a matter of figuring out all the other pieces that I want to decorate the birdhouse with. And also the card itself and what I want that to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down, and I'll be back to do the coloring. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I ended up popping up this part, the roof, and this bottom part, and also that little step where the bird would step on. So, and these other two I glued straight down. So now let's go ahead and focus on the birds, because I want two of them. So since I'm going to be using some Stampin' Blends, I'm going to pull in my Tuxedo Black, the Memento, and I'm going to stamp me a couple birds here, and that way I can color them and cut them out. I think this will be so cute. Okay, so now let's decide the colors. I think I decided that I like blues and browns together, and I know brown isn't in the color cube, but Alicia said that we could use neutral colors. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and pull in some neutral colors, which is going to be crumb cake. I got my crumb cake blends and my pecan pie. And then I'm going to do some Night of Navy. Now, the Night of Navy, I kind of want the lighter color. So the first thing I'm going to do is do everything, the details part. And then I'm going to go back with the color that I want to go over the whole bird. So it'll kind of do the whole blending at that point. So I'm going to start with adding a little bit of color to the tail. And also, where else do I want it? Probably on his wings. So I'll just do both tails right away. Might as well focus. And then I'm going to kind of go around where the black is on the wings. And I think that'll be cute. I'll do the same to this one. And I'm not, you know, the nice thing about blends and birds is the colors don't have to be, you know, precise. And then where else do I want any more blue? I think not. I think I'm going to come in with probably the light pecan pie and just continue to add some more color on the tail. And maybe I'll come around like the top of his head. And then maybe underneath here. So let's see. Let me get that closer to you. It's kind of what I'm doing there. And then maybe I'll just add a little more over here. We'll see. Let's see, I can do that over here as well. So just really how you want to see your bird, the bird to look. I think that's kind of cute. So now I think what I'm going to do, just add a little bit more. And now I'm going to take my light crumb cake and just use it to blend out those colors and then add color everywhere else. So I'm going to be doing the entire bird in this color. And then that's going to blend the other colors together. Now I'm not going to do the beak with this because I want to come in with the marker for them because it's so little. But I just kind of want to blend those colors together. And see, when you color all over, it blends the blues and that pecan pie all together. And if you want to do some more blending, just keep going over that. Now, because I did that, it kind of took out a little bit of that pecan pie. So I'm going to go back in and add a little bit more of that. To the places that I want to have it. And then I'll do a little bit more blending. So there we go. I think that's cute. So let me do that over here as well. Just kind of blend all those colors together. Now I could leave, because see, I didn't blend it as much, so it didn't take out as much of the pecan pie, but I'm still gonna go back in and add a little bit more of that and blend it out. With my light crumb cake. So there we go. I think that's cute. So now I'm just going to take my early espresso marker and just color in his beak with that and his feet. And then I'm going to go ahead and off camera, I'm going to die cut this out. And then I will come back and decide what kind of flowers and stuff I want to decorate the birdhouse with. And hopefully figure out what my card's going to look like so that we can finish it up. So I'll be right back. Okay. So I've cut out my little birds, and then I decided to pull out every flower that was in this bundle, and I went ahead and cut them all out on the sweet sugar plum. And then there's these leaves, and so I did one set of the single leaves and 3 sets of the double leaves on the pistachio pudding. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is, I looked at these birds, and this one I noticed I had a little bit more white down here. Well, since that, I didn't like that, well, I don't have to get rid of it, because I'm going to put him, he's going to be the one that's going to be peeking through the hole. So I'm going to go ahead and get him adhered. So what I think I'm going to do is I'll just put some glue on his tail. And then I'll kind of try to do this without making a mess. Let's see, how should I do this? I think I'll do it like this. And then I don't want to, I got to make sure I don't see the tail. So I'm just going to turn it over to see where I'm working here. Just make sure that the tail doesn't go outside the birdhouse there. And see how I like him on the inside peeking through. I think that's kind of cute. So then I'm going to figure out how I want to decorate the outside with the leaves and the flowers. And I've made a decision that my card base is going to be the Dapper Denim. And that'll pull out just that little bit there that's in the birdhouse. And then my next mat, I wanted it to be the pistachio pudding. And then my final mat, I'm going to use some more of that designer paper, the same one I used to cut out the birdhouse. The only thing is I'm not going to do any blending of that pistachio pudding on there. It's just going to be that color. And then when I cut my designer paper, I always cut it in half at 6 inches. And then I start working in increments of 4. Because then that way, when I have to cut off, like in this case, I was able to have this left over, and the width of 4 inches is perfect for the inside of my card that I'll probably be using with basic white. And then I'll put this at the bottom. So what I'm going to do next is start figuring out how to lay out these flowers and leaves on this card and where I want them and what I'm going to pop up and everything and get this bird on here somehow. And then I will show you how I finally got it decorated. And then, let's see, then I just got to come up with a sentiment. So let me go ahead and start designing this. I don't want to do it on camera because it takes me forever and you'll just be bored to death watching me do that. So I'm going to work on that and then I'll be back so that we can finish up the card with the sentiment. And then I will be ready to submit this because it has to be in by midnight tomorrow night. Okay, I'm back to show you the finale. So here it is. So after I put all my layers down on my mats there, I went, oh, I want to do the little chain that came in that set. So I stamped that in early espresso. And then I put my birdhouse down and I adhered it flat. And then I decided to stamp happy birthday right on the designer paper, which I was pretty gutsy to do that and that chain without, because I had already adhered it down and I thought, oh, please let me do it right. But anyway, it worked out great. And then I started rearranging my flowers and they're all glued down flat because this part is popped up. Now this one, this little flower there, I did pop up. So there's kind of a double pop-up right in that area. So hopefully that'll still be okay for mailing. I think it will be because I usually, when I mail cards, I put another cardstock on top. And so I think it'll be fine. And then I put my bird there. And I think it came out really cute. Then I found these really, really old neutral candy dots from Stampin' Up. So I went ahead and added the little white ones to the center of the flowers. And all my leaves, I didn't have to, I attached them to the flowers. So like if this flower was here, it looks like it's popped up, but it's only because it's on a popped up piece there. So then on the inside, I added the back side of this paper because that's the same color that I used for the roof and that bottom part. So I thought that tied it in really nicely. And then the sentiment, hoping you have the best day ever, came from that stamp set as well, the Country Birdhouse. So I like the way it came out, and I think it matches the color card that we used, that I picked out. And I've used all the colors except the Night of Navy, which I could have used that instead of early espresso. I could have done that. But since we were allowed to use neutrals, I figured that would fall into there. But yeah, I could have done this in the Night of Navy, and then I would have used all the colors. So, yep, there we go. There it is. So I hope you enjoyed this card and how I created it. And if you did, you can show me your joy by giving this video a thumbs up. Okay, well, happy crafting, everyone. And until my next video, remember, choose joy. And may God bless you all. Bye-bye.